condition of sections of the main road that passes through Shuttlewood, Macfield, and Burnt Ground in that parish, which leads primarily to adjoining St. James and Westmoreland, protracted a speedy response from the authorities. But the people of the area insist that the wrong approach has been taken to fix the thoroughfare by those contracted to do it. While the road, too, is being given some attention now, the people are still upset that they had to protest and block it before steps could be taken to correct the long-standing problem.
On the road right now, abortion they have to call it. The amount of one lose belly in them. All my bus, the amount of egg we mash up in it. Some woman can't find and drive in the bus, them they can't no picnic, them infertile, no picnic. Take a patrol there. So right now, a road we are saying.
Yeah man, normal man, road. Road we are saying normal.
We block the road, but we support the black in the road.
We drive on this road every day, so we want a good road.
Hey, we got park for load and we go down the way so we can't load. The road block. We support.
A man who was freed of being a member of the One Don faction of the Clansman gang was on Saturday fatally shot by the police during an alleged confrontation in Winter's Pen in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The deceased is Khalifa Williams, otherwise called Barber. Preliminary reports are that sometime after 3 p.m., the police were on an operation in Winter's Pen when they were allegedly fired upon by Williams. Law enforcers took evasive action and returned fire, hitting Williams. He was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The matter has been reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations, which has launched a subsequent probe. In March of this year, Williams was freed of being a member of a criminal organization after Chief Justice Brian Sykes found that the prosecution had presented insufficient evidence to convict him of the offense. One of the gangsters, turned state witness, had described Williams as a top shooter of the gang. But Williams, who, in his unsworn statement from the dock at the trial, told the court that he did not know who Andre Blackman Bryan, the now convicted leader of the One Don breakaway faction of the Clansman gang, was before the case began. Williams said he first met Bryan in 2019 during a court appearance. He added that he only knew 4 of the defendants because they were from the same community. Williams was accused of murdering a man at a tire shop along the Spanish Town Bypass Road in St. Catherine on November 2, 2017, but he had long contended he was not involved in any such activity. Sykes, on previous occasions, pointed out that the prosecution did not provide enough evidence to implicate Williams in that crime. Information in court records substantiated Williams' claim that he had been in police custody at Horizon Remand Center since January 16, 2017, hence he could not have been involved in the November 2017 murder. The former accused is the second person freed of being a member of the Spanish Town-based gang to be killed in a shootout with the police. Dalmain Elliston, a 27-year-old welder and livestock farmer, was fatally shot during a shootout between gunmen and law enforcers in a section of the Bog Walk Gorge in St. Catherine on September 13, 2023. A St. James man has been sentenced to more than 15 years in the United States for his role in a fraudulent sweepstakes scheme that targeted elderly Americans. The now convicted is 41-year-old Damone Oakley, who was extradited to the United States in 2022 and pleaded guilty in July 2023 to 2 counts of mail and 2 counts of wire fraud. Oakley was sentenced on Thursday in a federal court in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to 192 months in prison. From at least 2010 through 2019, Oakley participated in a fraudulent scheme that saw victims receiving mailings, text messages, or phone calls in which they were falsely told that they had won millions of dollars and luxury vehicles in a sweepstakes, but first needed to pay taxes and fees before they could claim their winnings. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Oakley used phony names during the scheme, including Officer Alex Logan and Officer Stan Valentine, and instructed his victims on how to send their money and to whom the funds should be sent. His victims were located throughout the U.S. and used wire transfers, direct bank deposits, the U.S. Postal Service, and private commercial mail carriers to send money directly to Oakley as well as to individuals in the U.S. and elsewhere, who served as intermediaries and transmitted the money to Oakley. In addition to sending cash or wire transfers, his victims were directed to purchase electronics, jewelry, and clothing, which were sent to mail forwarding services in Florida and then on to Oakley in Jamaica. The victims never received any winnings, the Department of Justice said. Oakley's victims lost hundreds of thousands of dollars during the course of the scheme. 2 men were gunned down and another injured in Gregory Park, St. Catherine on Saturday night. The deceased have been identified as Cedric Crooks, 46, and 47-year-old Michael Manley, also known as Bada Bada, both of Gregory Park addresses. Reports are that 3 men were at a bar in the area when they were pounced upon by a lone gunman who opened fire at them. Crooks and Manley reportedly both received gunshots to the head, while the other man was shot in the chest. The suspect escaped in the area on foot. The police were summoned and the men were taken to hospital, where Crooks and Manley were pronounced dead, while the other man was admitted in serious but stable condition. The police have not yet released a motive for the killing. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips says lawmen have maintained a strong presence in the area and are disappointed that this incident has occurred. We will not allow criminals to disrupt the peace for the rest of the year, especially those that are looking forward to a peaceful Christmas,